Welcome to the country, where your phone is just a $1,400 flashlight that dies more than your will to live, and if you can afford a tractor, it will hate you. You may have read about country life and its challenges on the internet. If you haven't, don't read it. I'll explain it to you. In the city, life was on rookie mode. When a problem arose, you could call a guy. Out here in the country, when a problem arises, you might be able to find a guy in a nearby city to call, and if he shows up, you're very, very lucky. And yes, sometimes that guy lives at the end of your road by the turnoff, actually knows how to spell, and might even make you a decent latte if you're nice. But you won't find him on any app. You'll find him quietly fixing your fence, because you thought it was his fence, and staring at you with a look that smells like judgment. I mean, we've all Googled something obvious from time to time, but when that something obvious is how to change the oil in my car or which way does a wrench turn, you're probably in deep trouble out in the country. Zillow said priced well below market. And the translation there is that the roof leaks, the driveway requires a four-wheel drive when the weather is bad, and the furnace wheezes like a chain smoker that produces a smell like ozone mixed with human hair. Pickups aren't optional, they're life support. A flat tire is an existential crisis that can get you killed on a 2-lane suicide pass highway, and gasoline is a big enough problem that it makes a gigantic sucking sound when you open your wallet. Then there's the work. You thought chopping wood was a charming and rustic chore, but it's actually a brutal exercise that's a lot like if you took your gym workout you're used to, multiply it by your mortal enemy, and then divide by how much you participated in PE class during high school. In the country, you keep an extra spare tire, you test your jumper cables, and you have to have at least one neighbor that doesn't hate you. These are constants in rural life survival math. Then there's the slow, unromantic pace of life. You will be reminded of this on your frequent trips to town, because until you learn to shop by the month, you'll be taking a lot of those. And your odds at that point of getting stuck on the 2-lane highway behind the slowest hillbilly in the county go way, way up. You moved for a slower pace, you told yourself. Well, you got it. Now you argue with yourself about whether clouds are moving clockwise or counterclockwise while you're staring out the window, and the answer is yes. Hidden benefits here are that if you multiply your boredom times your attention span, you'll start noticing things, like the different birds, the seasons, and traffic on your road that doesn't belong. You'll notice which cow always tends to escape from the neighbor's pasture each week. The good news is she's a really sweet cow, and if you approach her with grass in your hand, she'll let you pet her. Eventually, the realization becomes that every chore out here is secretly a life lesson. Mostly about humility and blisters, but eventually they will equal your satisfaction squared. You'll come to find solace in the simple tasks. Then, eventually, you'll miss working outdoors when the summer is so hot it's like being 2 feet from the sun and 1,000 miles from water. The sound of all the lawnmowers in your area simultaneously starting at dusk will get real. Then there are the unfiltered realities of nature. In the city, nature is an Instagram post by that adventure dude you've never met. Out here in the cut, nature can be a relentless inconvenience and sometimes an outright danger. Deer in the garden, mice in the pantry, raccoons with a god complex, and even wild hogs that will make your dog look like the worst parts of Old Yeller. The bonus life hack here is pest control sometimes requires teamwork and maybe even something a little dangerous. You, a neighbor, an exceedingly helpful barn cat, strong dogs are not optional. Potentially your dignity and innocence will be lost forever. The good news is you'll eventually learn to sleep again. Now we haven't even talked about dating in the country. Dating in the country is very different. You thought dating in the city was awkward. Now you're hooked up with a woman who's 100% silently judging you based on your truck backing skills on the first date. Apps exist, technically, but they will mostly connect you with people who live 140 miles away. That is if when you turn them on, they don't just flash and say, please return to Earth to find more matches. The first rule here is leave the designer clothes at home. Boots are a currency. If your footwear isn't a little dirty or battle-scarred, you can't have pillow talk. Second rule, the first time you use the word deserve in a sentence, you're cooked. Just don't. More wanting, less deserving. Third rule is compliment the dog first. If they have a dog, introducing yourself to the humans in the room first is a rookie mistake. Dogs are the real people here. If you dare to complain about a dog the size of a horse in the house, or cat hair on the furniture, you'll be driving home tasting bad decisions and regret all the way. Fourth rule is how to know if you're winning. Well, it's probably if they can fix a fence without putting down their coffee while simultaneously explaining why your car repairs sound like pain and childhood mistakes. Bonus points if they don't push you down while you're tying your shoes. There are exceptions, of course. Sometimes the neighbor 2 houses down is a fantastic cook, a half-decent conversationalist, and can weld a gate shut without killing anyone, including a small animal. It's rare. They're like finding a tractor that doesn't require 3 people and a prayer when it fails to start, but they are out here. Try church and see if that helps. So dating in the country is part observation, part humility, part part willingness to get covered in dog slobber, and mostly it's about realizing that charm and sarcasm are more valuable than any expensive restaurant menu. In their eyes, if you're not working hard in life, then the situation is hardly working. Now we come to the final unspoken lesson. Despite leaks, floods, squirrels that think your house wiring is an Olympic sport, one truth will remain: your neighbors. They are way better than regular people. When the power fails, or the well pump breaks, or the internet exits the group chat for days at a time, you don't need an app. You call Dave. And if you've been a decent person, Dave will show up with duct tape. And probably tools. He might even offer you his half-eaten sandwich that he's been carrying in his lunchbox since breakfast. It's just in the truck, he says, as he goes to get it. So shut up and eat the damn sandwich, even if it tastes like an awkward moment. Dave was an urbanite once upon a time, too. He learned, he stayed, and now he's your guy. He's your coffee buddy that plays chess with you. And just maybe someday, you'll be the guy when someone else falls down, and they'll learn to look at you the same way you used to look at Dave. And the true math of the country is like this. In the city, you see 1,000 strangers and you have 0 real friends. In the country, you have 4 neighbors that you owe at least 100 favors each. In the end, the final result is nobody makes it alone, but nobody falls down alone either. Trust me, your neighbors will know when you're going through it, and they'll help you, but only if you learn to ask for what you need.